As many of you know, Ableton is an incredibly powerful DAW, and many people consider it their primary tool when it comes to producing music. Some of you might be wondering what makes Ableton so great compared to the other DAWs, or why do so many people use it as opposed to things like Logic and Pro Tools and Fruity Loops. Well, today I've compiled a list of my top 5 favorite features in Ableton. These are just 5 things that I think Ableton does really well and helps me in my workflow. So I just wanted to highlight those for you guys, and yeah, let's go ahead and check them out. The first thing I have on my list here is warping and audio manipulation. Warp in Ableton is an incredibly powerful tool that pushes Ableton far above the competition in my opinion. So if we take a look here, this loop is at 78 beats per minute, so if I play it with the metronome, it's not going to line up at all. So that's where warp comes in. What I can do is I can click this warp button, and I can actually just drag the loop to the timeline. Now when I play this, it's going to be perfectly on beat. Now to take it a step even further, I can actually pitch this from here and it'll stay on beat. There are also other warp modes like beats where you can preserve just the transients. So those are just a couple things you can do with warp. I have made a video on this topic in the past and I'll have a link to that, but for today's purposes, we'll move on for now. Now, the next thing that I think really sets Ableton apart is Max for Live. This is such a great feature that I think really goes overlooked. Not only is it a lot of included effects and instruments and all kinds of stuff that you can use, but it also gives you the ability to kind of actually make your own devices and download tons of different devices from the internet, whether they're paid or free. Just to highlight a few of the really nice ones that are included, we got Convolution Reverb, and LFO is another great one. You have all the drum synths in the Max Instrument section, and you have ARP in the MIDI section. So just to kind of cover a few of those to get you started, those are some nice ones to look into. Moving on, the next thing that I love about Ableton is the included devices. Now included in this, I'm talking instruments, audio effects, and MIDI effects. These do go above and beyond a lot of included software with other DAWs that I've seen. These are totally usable. I use them all the time. To highlight a few of my favorites, EQ8 is an amazing EQ. I love it. And to this day, it's really one of the only EQs I ever use. Glue compressor is another thing that I jump to all the time. I use it all the time. It's one of my go-to compressors. The hybrid reverb, which is somewhat new to Ableton, is an amazing reverb, and I find myself using it more and more. AutoPan, if you haven't seen my video on that, again, I'll have it linked, is a great device that does a little bit more than you might be expecting. Wavetable is an amazing wavetable synth. You can really just use that. You don't have to use pretty much anything else for synths. And then you have Operator, which is a great FM synth. So just to kind of cover a few bases there, those are some great devices that come with Ableton that you can just jump in and start making great music as soon as you download Ableton. The next thing that I think Ableton does really well is the potential for sound design. The sound design potential in Ableton is insane. I don't know if you've ever heard Decap talk about one of the reasons why he loves Ableton, which is that you can do things in 32-bit. There are some DAWs you can't work in 32-bit, and when you're doing sound design, it's really important. Another thing that I think is really cool with Ableton is the different racks you can use. So like if you want to do a crazy reverb with modulation after the reverb and make a preset for that, you can use an audio effect rack and pull it up whenever you want to use it again. All of that stuff lends itself to a really quick and smooth workflow that I've grown to love. Now the final thing I want to mention here today is Ableton's ability to perform live. The software is great for performing live. Being able to launch clips, being able to have live follow the beats per minute of an instrument in your band, the Launchpad and the Ableton Push 2 and all of these devices that are made for performing live with Ableton lend to making it a very smooth experience when playing live. Also, some of the things that I mentioned previously, like the sound design potential and making presets. If you're a keyboard player, you can make keys presets and switch between them really quick and easy by just record arming. I mean, there's a lot of great features for playing live, and because it's so good for also producing music, you really only need one software for live and production. So yeah, I mean, these are some things that I think sets Ableton apart. These are some reasons why I love it and use it and have used it for years. But yeah, I mean, if you guys have anything that you want to share, any reasons why you love Ableton, go ahead and leave those in the comments down below. I'd love to check those out. If you guys enjoyed the video, go ahead and leave a like, comment, and subscribe. It really does help the channel out. Other than that, you guys have a great day, and thank you for watching.